I'm Eileen Makovich, and I'm the director of the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. We're located here in Springfield, Illinois, and we celebrate and deliver the heritage of Abraham Lincoln along with the story of the state of Illinois, the crossroads of America. The history of this museum is the history of an idea that began a long time ago, perhaps 25 years ago. The reality of its opening is 10 years. But as with anything great and strong and powerful as this museum is, there were many people who were thinking about celebrating Abraham Lincoln, understanding Abraham Lincoln, and making his papers available through this museum and library. And so we have an extraordinary collection of papers here, such as the Gettysburg Address and the 13th Amendment. We also have opportunities for people to understand through life formations, through models, if you will, the story of Abraham Lincoln from the time he was a boy in a log cabin to the tragedy of his assassination. There are really two major areas that were designed initially. The first is Journeys 1, obviously, and that deals with young Lincoln, the poor Lincoln, the person who always had his head in a book, if you will, reading when books were scarce. Horses were much more common, if you will, than books about any subject. And so Lincoln always had his head in a book. It was very common for him to do so and uncommon for the rest of the world to do so. And so we have in Journeys 1 the story of the young barrister, the young lawyer, the man who rose to the top, who was a campaigner, a political campaigner, up till the moment that he's ready to enter the White House with his good wife, Mary. And then the second journey is the White House itself and the story of presidency, the story of the tragedy of the Civil War, the story of the emancipation of slavery and the possibilities for a full and equal world that we're still working on. I would certainly be happy. This is a very long time ago, but that's a part of my career that's certainly Chicago-based, but we traveled the circuit, if you will. Not like Lincoln did travel the circuit when he was a lawyer, but we rode as a family, if you will. We rode saddlebreds. My younger daughter had a pony, and then my older daughter had a full-fledged saddlebred whose name was Bowingo. And Bowingo was a good winner, and our trainer was a woman named Dawn Atlas. Dawn Atlas was one of the most amazing teachers. If she knew Lincoln, she could have taught Lincoln like nobody else, because she taught you what it was to be a powerful woman, a woman who could understand both what the horse was about and your relationship to the horse. She was never someone who would spur the horse with spurs. She was the person who really was what we call today very commonly a horse whisperer. And what she did was teach people to understand and appreciate that animal had will and that you had to be in sympathy with each other. That was an extraordinary experience for me, my whole family, and especially my two daughters who rode extensively and still do. I think that there are many aspects of Lincoln that intrigue all of us, but for me, it's the morality of the man, its ability to grow, to resolve, to think about the future in terms not of his own private gain, but in terms of the possibilities for America. And so in the middle of the 19th century, he's beginning to imagine a nation of diversity. He's beginning to imagine the resolution of issues that we're still plagued with today. He's beginning to imagine a world where people can become equals together, people of different races, people of different religions. And so we're going to have a variety of exhibits in the next year that focus on this whole concept of Lincoln, the moral man, the man who can believe in diversity, and the man who can see a future for America that's focused on that kind of openness.